Have you ever wondered if the chill you felt down your spine in an empty room was more than just your imagination? Could it be a ghost? For centuries, these spectral beings have been a part of our folklore and mythology, often depicted as disembodied souls or spirits of the dead. They've been a source of fascination, fear, and intrigue, sparking countless tales and even investigations. Some even dedicate their lives to the pursuit of these elusive entities, a practice commonly referred to as ghost hunting. But here's the catch. Despite the widespread interest and the many claims of ghost sightings, science has yet to find concrete proof that these spirits truly exist. Ghost hunting, in fact, is often classified as pseudoscience. Indeed, despite centuries of investigation and countless alleged hauntings, there's no scientific evidence to suggest that any location is truly inhabited by spirits of the dead. So, are ghosts just figments of our imagination, or is there more to this spectral phenomenon? Do our feline friends have the ability to see what we can't? We've often wondered why cats seem to stare at something we can't see. Some believe it's because cats can detect subtle changes in light, changes so minute that they escape our human eyes. This ability might be what fuels the perception that cats can see ghosts. However, it's worth noting that humans excel at focusing on images, a skill vital for reading and understanding our world. So, next time your cat stares intently at something you can't see, it might just be noticing a flicker of light, or could it be something more? Ghosts in folklore have taken on many forms, from invisible presences to lifelike apparitions. But what are the common elements that tie these ghostly descriptions together? Throughout history, ghosts have been described in a myriad of ways. Some accounts detail them as invisible forces, sensed but never seen. Others portray them as ethereal wisps, a mere suggestion of their former selves. And then, there are those tales where the ghosts appear as realistic, lifelike forms, so vividly described that it's as if the deceased have returned to the land of the living. This variation in ghostly depictions can be attributed to cultural differences, personal beliefs, and the narrative needs of the storytellers. Yet despite these variations, several common elements tend to weave themselves into most ghost stories. A pervasive theme is the idea that ghosts are typically the spirits of the deceased. They are often believed to be trapped between our world and the next, unable to find peace. This has led to numerous attempts throughout history to communicate with these spirits, in the hopes of helping them find their way, or to glean some wisdom from beyond the grave. Necromancy and seances have been practiced as a means of making contact with the dead. These practices, steeped in ritual and mystery, have only added to the allure and fear associated with ghosts. From wispy shapes to full-bodied apparitions, the portrayal of ghosts varies greatly. But the question remains, are these just stories, or do they hold some truth? From spooky tales told around the campfire to the spectral characters in our favorite movies, ghosts have always been a part of our cultural narrative. But how do these representations shape our understanding of these ethereal beings? In literature, ghosts often serve as harbingers of doom or as symbols of unresolved issues. Take for instance the book How I Became a Ghost, where the protagonist, a young Choctaw boy named Isaac, narrates his experience of the Trail of Tears posthumously. This unique perspective not only immerses readers in a historical tragedy, but also presents a ghost as a relatable character, challenging the common trope of ghosts as terrifying entities. Moving on to the realm of superheroes and comics, we find characters like the Ghost, who uses a battlesuit to become invisible and intangible, much like a ghost. Through his mental commands, he controls his powers, giving us a thrilling example of how the concept of ghostliness can be harnessed for heroics, again, breaking away from the traditional narrative. But what about the sounds that ghosts make? They've been a staple in popular culture, from the rattling chains of Jacob Marley and Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, to the spine-chilling moans of spectral ladies in horror films. And who can forget the classic boo we often associate with ghosts? These auditory depictions have been instrumental in creating a sense of fear and suspense around the idea of ghosts. Even in children's cartoons like Scooby-Doo, ghosts are portrayed as mischievous spooks, teaching kids that fear can be overcome with a little courage and a lot of Scooby snacks. These representations, while often humorous and lighthearted, still contribute to the broader cultural understanding of what a ghost is or could be. In essence, the portrayal of ghosts in popular culture has evolved over time, reflecting society's changing attitudes towards the unknown, the afterlife, and indeed, the concept of fear itself. Whether real or imagined, ghosts have certainly left an indelible mark on our cultural psyche. But until science can prove otherwise, the existence of these spectral beings remains a question shrouded in mystery. So do ghosts truly exist, or are they just stories we tell to explain the unexplainable? Our journey has explored the absence of scientific proof, feline ghost detectors, the myriad forms ghosts assume, and their cultural portrayals. Perhaps the existence of ghosts is a question that will never be fully answered, but one thing is certain: they will continue to haunt our imaginations and our stories for years to come.